Hello again, this is Verde, and today we're playing Magicraft. I have something in mind for today, and I think this one is pretty good for that. Although, I don't know really, I want a character that can cast like a lot. In high numbers, I mean. Because I want to make use of this spell right here. The Floating Wisp. And I think you will see in a second why I want to abuse that spell. Oh, 1 second, my game just froze a little bit. Oh, my spell transparency is a little bit low. So we might need a ban list. Let's see, this ban list. Let's use 50-50, why not? Right, this ban list bans our floating wisps, which is something that we don't want. Basically, we want to ban a lot of normals. You know? We want to ban a lot of normals. So that floating wisp is very frequent, because we will want a volley of them. That would be cool. But in order to have a volley of them, we will not need a lot of them. I don't think this will be particularly useful. That spell over there. Let's see, is there anything that we really want other than floating wisp? Perhaps spell duration. Spell duration would be nice. Orbit, I don't know. Spell duration is something that we want. We don't really need to do it. Or want to do it in general. I don't want forced cooldown, even though this does not make any difference to cooldown. So I might want that, either that or laser to reduce the cooldown. I could also reduce the cooldown via that. That's just not, okay. There we go, we got our first floating wisp, which we will put at the end here. The thing about floating wisps is that once the first one hits the enemy, the other ones come after it, you know, after the enemy that was hit. Which might not seem all that good because it isn't. However, it has some neat properties that we are going to abuse. We are certainly going to abuse some neat properties of our floating wisps. That's the idea there. By default, it deals a lot of damage. It's 30 damage. You know, for such a simple spell. 30 damage is not bad. Not bad at all. Perhaps I should have kept Orbit. You know, keeping all of those in orbit would be cool. Let's go to the shop so we see if we can get... Well, first, we need more keys. That is just a given. You know, more keys, always nice. Resonance might be something useful, I don't know. Like, we could try to resonate a lot of floating wisps. Spell duration is nice with floating wisp, right? What is their current duration? I don't know. I have no idea. Right now I want either volley or more floating wisps. And I got 2 spell prototypes, which I am tempted to immediately use there. I think I will use them to enhance either volley or floating wisp. Probably floating wisp, right? So let's go to the forge, enhance floating wisp, and enhance both of you. This way we can reforge you into something useful. And I don't think it will take a lot of time until that becomes something useful. Because we have very few options. In general. You know. There we go, we got bigger floating wisps that self-replicate once in a while. And that is the whole thing there. Yeah, I think now you can see why I wanted to play this build. You know, I think now it's starting to make sense, I hope. But it takes a little bit for them to self-replicate. I should have cat penetration, though, too. But reflection is as good as, really. You know? Because that way the floating wisps will not have that many issues, will they? Yeah, touch one of them to see what happens. Arc of Justice. It's not bad at all, because I can put all my floating wisps, which are many, onto our things and have they orbit us in random radiuses and have they duplicate while they do so. That's interesting. It kinda makes it so that we don't benefit a lot from that effect where they populate the entire map. However, while they don't populate the entire map, hear me out, they're strong anyway, right? Let's open this random chest, which contains a curse, but honestly, not that bad. At this early on, I would gladly take a curse for a K. We are very good at destroying the map, though. That you cannot deny. Let's get in here. Crit rate. Sure. This is basically just more damage as a curse, which is interesting. Reduces damage dealt. Sure. That is bad, but we got 2 things out of that. We also have reduced inventory slots, which right now does precisely nothing. Twine is a rare spell, which we can then reroll into something. We have a slight amount of curses right now. We can remove some here. We now have 5 curses. Precisely. I don't know about the orbit, guys. But it casts a little bit faster, so there's that. We can't say that it doesn't cast a lot faster. Further remove curses. That should be a good idea. And keeping my ultimate potion, I don't think if that is a good idea. Ouch, I'm taking a lot of damage. That's fine. I'll take fortune earrings. Yeah, I'm not sure about the orbit thing. Let's go back to the other spell. To the other version of it. Oh, and we got our key back, so it was basically gold for free. Ouch. Ouch. Funnily enough, I may die here. If I'm not particularly careful. You know? Okay, it is negative diagonal. Like so. This is the combination. There we go. Charge mode is not bad, but we lack the slots to make it as useful as it could be. Let's drink this Midas potion right away. You know. The thing is, as soon as the first ball touches my enemies, several of them will start pursuing said enemy. Oh. Wow. Wow. I will try to re-roll that into another thing, but right now, let's just make use of it. Right? I will try to reroll that into Arcane Nova. Ouch. Yeah, right now we very much need to make use of it, otherwise we'll die. Which is funny to think of. We have the money, let's try to reroll that. That epic. Not that, not that. It is a little bit early, and being early helps a lot with Verde Cadavra. Adavokiradva. Not sure. This helps. This certainly helps. Yeah, we don't have the money to keep rerolling it. Just funny, now that we are stuck with such a spell. You know. Also, what are we doing? Its damage increases by 5 seconds up to 6 seconds. Huh. Thing is... yeah, we can kind of do that. That's 600 damage. Okay. Let's keep going, shall we? Let's use this to destroy the trees. You can say whatever about Supernova. It is very efficient at destroying trees, okay? That you cannot deny. Now we'll be charging this as much as the game lets us. Ouch, which I don't think is all that much because we are almost dead. So there's that. More movement speed. This one though, measuring ruler. It doesn't have a lot of MP region, but it does have a very good cooldown and a very good numbers of swings. Well, this guy, well, it does have a somewhat good cooldown because of this, but, well, we don't care about that spell, do we? So anyway, let's continue on. We are quite frail at the moment because our build is not particularly good at destroying everything as it could. Can't always start by doing that, right? I don't like this ruler thing, if I'm completely honest. But who am I to... Honestly, I think I'm only taking all that damage because I'm being careless. Yeah, sometimes casting Supernova without using MP sounds strong because it is. You know. Another prototype, I will take that. I don't know if I want auto nav on my things. Because hear me out. I want them to like wander around a little bit before going into the enemy. I want them to use most of their duration. You know? I want them to take their time, really. So that they can last longer, so that they can reproduce a little bit better. You know? Whenever I suddenly stop casting is because I have a Supernova lined up, which is funny. Okay, there. Let's not forget to take the key. We still have some curses. This one is not particularly bad, especially this early, and please give me an Arcane Nova. I never asked you anything for... Yeah, I know I'm lying. Excuse me, video game? Sure. Let me have that Arcane Barrier. If you are so inclined to give it to me. Right? I never actually made a build about dealing damage with the arcane barrier. That could be fun. You know, but I'm trying to spam balls right now. So let's not do that. You know. Yeah, I don't like this whole length. I think it is doing very bad things for us. I do like these though, but yeah, the curses are brutal. Well, that could be a potion shop. I don't think I benefit all that much from a potion shop having 7 money. At least that number we can read, right? You know how insane it would be if we couldn't figure out how much money we had? I think the other curse does that, right? And because of that, we couldn't even figure out which curses we had. Oh, our barrier went out. Not all that great. I have a problem with this wand actually, because it has 5 meters range, and some enemies only become vulnerable when within 5 meters. So that is the way. Have I tested that? No. Okay. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I knew that wasn't the right choice. There we go, an overscatter. Hello, my guy. How are you doing? What do we have here? I should not have kept that going around, should I? Anyway, I will be locking the rears and I will take in those. Then I will be putting that there. And I'll be taking my rears now. Why doesn't these maps contain statues? Please, video game. I wouldn't say that I never asked you anything, because I have asked you a few things. Also, we are immune to spikes. That's something that... Oh, very nice. Actually, we might take those instead of the rares. Funnily enough. Volley Plus, I am quite interested in that, but the curses from these rooms are very nasty. I think I got it this time. Yeah, interesting. I was able to follow it with my eyes. That's not something that happens particularly often. Not gonna lie. My eyes are usually not that great. Well, a duplication potion. I do enjoy those. In real life, I don't usually trust my eyes for basically nothing, you know, because I am I am myopic. You know, I cannot see all that well. And yeah, I don't trust my eyes all that often. Like, for instance, crossing streets. It's something that I usually only do when there are other pedestrians crossing the street, right? In the same position. Thankfully, I live in a somewhat dense city, so there are always other pedestrians crossing the streets. But I don't know, I think more money is needed here. I don't think we benefit from that magnifying thing. You know. We should take those potions if we feel threatened. The invincibility potion especially. I think this one has a little bit more MP than the other. I don't know, I don't remember. I think it's almost about the same really. Yeah. I don't like these guys which reflect projectiles. You know, I think they are... yeah, I think they are not all that... Oh. MP +1. MP region +1. And the seed finally paid off. Yeah, we are immune to that whole spikes thing. So anyway, usually I trust my ears a lot more in determining car sounds are coming and going away via Doppler effect, those kinds of things. Well, they used to because, well, now they are electric cars, which I believe they are required by law to make some noise while running. Even fake noise. It is funny because you cannot hear it from inside, but you can hear it from the outside, like they make a small humming noise when they are moving, you know? And I very much believe it is something like law mandated or something. It is not like something by necessity, unlike the combustion cars, you know? And their hum is pretty... Please get... Yeah, I kept aphasia, of course. At least I know I don't have any more curses. Which... honestly, good. The only curse I really have is this very long wand. Really, who has a 5-meter... a 5-meter ruler? For all that... for all... Oh, there it is. And then find you. That's more damage, but I believe more relic options is a little bit nicer. Shop. Would have to... I don't have a lot of money, so let's not go to it. Please, another curse removal statue would be great. Even though we can discern text, this game is, well, very well communicated through other things, like through icons and stuff. So I don't think I really need to read text, but I feel most comfortable reading text. Right? Like this curse, I have no idea what it is because I don't remember the icons for the curses. You know. Should I? Possibly. I will take it nonetheless because it is a low-level curse. That I can figure out. This one is very good for the build we are going, so let's go with that. I used to value those leafy things, which the name I forgot, a lot back in the day because, well, you can technically reach 100% invincibility with that. But at the same time, this game is easy enough that you can just get 100% invincibility by many other ways, such as Arcane Barrier. No, you don't really need to go that route. I wonder if a split is any good here. I think so, right? Sadly, I think I banned split. Finally, a wand that's a little bit shorter. This one has 3 auto things already, so I can further benefit from volley if I get more floating wisps, which I currently don't have. So let's see, what did we get in terms of these? This one is very good. You will have to trust me on that one. And this one is very good. The middle one, I think, is a little bit overpriced. And finally, we can cast from close by. We need to test the satchels because they might contain the thing, the money thing. Anyway, we are very low on max HP, but that's not a big deal. We could go here and get rid of our curses, but instead we'll rely on luck for that. Because our cursors right now are not that big of a deal, I believe. I have no idea what that does. that one does, which is I think is a good sign, right? Not knowing what curses do. I have an issue right now, which is the cooldown of this one is somewhat greater than the other one was. But at the same time, I can slap more duration thingies. Yeah, show up, enemies. You will see into a world where balls rule everything. You will be born into a world commanded by balls. This one is very, very good. It makes it so that chests have a chance to contain a chest inside. And I am narrating that because there is no text. You know? So, yeah. We are incapable of reading right now. There is a word for that. Illiterate, perhaps? Not really illiterate, but perhaps illiterate. You know? We are playing the game by feel. It's like the game was in Chinese or something. Although I can like figure out one or two what's it called, symbols, you know, ideograms Chinese, while right now all ideograms are the same, which is bad, of course. That way I cannot even discern. And sometimes numbers, when within strings, are turned into those weird aphasia characters too. You know, sometimes they're not. That's a little bit inconsistent, to be honest. But that's fair. Also, I think we benefit a lot of it from throwing overscatter in that. Yeah. No, I like throwing overscatter after the spell, even though I don't benefit from the scatter, or like... Yeah, I am not affected by the scatter that way. But... So, we are taking volley because we are very close to a volley plus plus, which would be great. We are taking the duration because we are very close to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are 2 duration away from duration 3, you know, which would be nice too. Either way, let's get more curses, shall we? We need to start worry when we get 4 curses. Oh, level 2 of that. Which means more of those spell destroying things nearby. I quite enjoy that, those. I'm running out of MP. I think that increases the spell recoil. Not mistaken. From that icon. You know? This one certainly has more MP than the others. which is nice about that. Excuse me, video game? I don't know if I should be going there still. I mean, there would be certainly some benefit from going in there. But, hear me out. This could contain statue. Yeah, I like that. I could get a rare plus that way. A twine for all. Really? Anyway, let's reroll that rare plus into a spell prot plus. Oh, that's great, actually. I will craft these and those. Mostly because... Yeah, mostly because I have a reason, okay? I just forgot it for a second. Or two. I would still want to get Nova, but the thing is, we are somewhat relying on the arcane barrier. The you know. Let's try to reroll this into something a little bit more useful. Like, honestly, I have one thing in mind. Well, that is volley 3, if I ever get that, which is nice. I do benefit from moderation. See, there is a second line there which I cannot read. Anyway, I don't know about that overscatter plus. I could use this to improve those, which I think I will actually, now that I have mentioned it. Yeah, it lowers the numbers of spells we are throwing, you know, substantially. Please be a statue. It wasn't a statue. But the thing about that is... Oh, a chest. Please don't be a cursed chest. Or don't contain one as well, because, well, you know how this video game works, right? I find it funny that this game has rules for, like, if your summons something and then dies, the summons from the summons don't, you know. This guy is not useful anymore since we're going Grimoire. Yeah, as I mentioned, I am somewhat good at discerning sounds. Not that that thing is all that difficult, to be honest. I usually like to play this game without sound, which, like before recording videos, but that puzzle made me have to enable sounds, and I think that's kind of bad because there are people who cannot hear in this world, and there are also people who do not have sound equipment in their computer. Those two groups that exist, you know. And I think that the notes, a very little accessibility option that the frogs might have, is to have the notes slightly different from one another. Not in color, but in shape. The notes that come out of the frog's mouth, you know. That would fix this accessibility issue, you know. I know this is a Chinese game, and yeah, I heard that could be just, I don't know, that could be straight up wrong, but I heard that in China, accessibility options are not all that much of a thing, you know. That could be just Chinese anti-China propaganda, because there is a lot of that in the internet, you know. But I heard that accessibility there is not that big of a concern for the population, you know. No idea why. Perhaps there is no public incentive or something like that. I don't know. Because one thing we know about Brazil here is that we care a lot about our ramps for wheelchair people. I know it is not something that is accessible in every neighborhood, but well, every big piece of public infrastructure here has the ramps, has the lifts, has the like. There is public concern for accessibility, which I don't know if that's universal. You know, I think it's quite neat to, and that is something that we even notice if it's lacking. That's perhaps why that became a cultural thing to worry about the less able people, you know, people who have disadvantages in life. We, if a mall, for instance, does not have a lift or another kind of a wheelchair thing or a braille, or I don't know how to pronounce braille. Those things which you can read with your fingers, right? Like, if something doesn't have that, it feels off for some reason, you know? And I've been to some places outside of Brazil that is not particularly the case, you know? And that's interesting. That is something that is different from place to place, right? How much they care for their disadvantaged people, I suppose. You know, there is something of a cultural aspect to it, right? Like, should we build? I personally believe that we should build society in a way that people with difficulties can live, can coexist, and can, well, have some quality of life. I don't know what that says. Oh yeah, that's because I have that thing right there, right? I just put that thing in there so I don't have to worry about actually casting my thing. Anyway. This is a very simple run where I don't have to think a lot, so I got to speak a lot. Anyway, there were some cultures in the past where that did some very horrible things to the disadvantaged people, which is something bad that happened in our past, right? And that's everyone's past, really. Not just like a few people here and there. Here in Brazil, we had some terrible things done in the past too, like, so yeah, our morals have quote unquote evolved, I would say. You know, what is considered moral and what isn't. Like, I think that has evolved. Not that morals really are something that stop people from doing stuff, but you know, some years ago, if you were born without a leg or with a problem with your leg, there were a real possibility that your parents would decide to end your life right there, you know? While today, there isn't that much of a deal. I mean, it is a harder life because of the physical difficulties that it entails, right? Like, yeah, that might be a ramp for you to access there, but there isn't a ramp in your home for you to access the upper shelf, I would say. You know, there are still things, even if society makes its best efforts to help you. Oh, I guess you can get some prosthetics or something, you know. But that's assuming you have the musculature. Sure. I don't know. There are tons of conditions, different conditions, you know, and an interesting challenge for society to be able to, well, live, coexist with most individuals, you know? Because there will always be an individual which has some weird capacity or inability that you don't account for. Like, and it always it actually goes both ways, because I heard there was a person that could hear into some frequencies that most humans couldn't. And that person, well, music was not made for them, you know? Like, the radio was not filtered for them, so they could hear a lot of noise, while unfiltered noise, because regular humans couldn't, you know? I don't remember if it was a lower frequency or a higher frequency, but I found it fascinating how that is an extra capacity, but at the same time, that extra capacity might actually be as problematic as a disability, you know? Because, well, the world is not made for you. I think same goes for tall people, for like way too tall people. Like, yeah, it is an advantage being tall, but at the same time, if you want to have a seat on an airplane, well, oh, I have that curse, which I always walk. Don't like that curse. If you want to have a seat on an airplane, good luck with that. You know? Or if you want to fit in some cars, good luck with that. Cars are made for certain size people. And if you are too big for that, you know? And even if we would make everything accessible for bigger people, well, they would still have their issues with heart. You know? I read somewhere that people with bigger sizes were more likely to have heart issues, you know? So yeah, I think I couldn't classify those being very tall into a disability, but it actually, like, being different than the norm is a disadvantage in general. You know, the most advantaged people in general are the ones which society are made for them. You know? Which are ones that will come first when you think about a human being, you know? When you think about a human being, you think about a certain numbers of characteristics, you know? You have averages, and the closer you are to the average, the better, I wouldn't say suited, but the easier life you will have, you know? What was that dropped there? I think it dropped the potion, but I couldn't see because there were way too many balls in my screen. Yeah, we are reaching that way too many balls threshold, which is a good threshold to reach if you were wanting to get more balls. I don't know. I am speaky today, I suppose. I want more floating wisps, but the game is not keen on giving them to me. Like, a lot more, if I could have any say in that. I think banning Split was a big mistake here. Split could have made this run into an excessively more interesting run, but at the same time, I think we have a lot of balls. I think we have to interact with something. Let's reduce the spell transparency a little bit, because it really does not interest me all that much where my balls are, but what they are doing. You know, that is not worth it, that potion over there. But I think I could take it. Like, it is not worth it right now, but it maybe come, you know. I'm not sure why there are those places before the bosses, but who am I to question them, right? Anyway, those all of that talk about being regular is something that benefits you. Reminds me of how the world used to treat left-handed people. Like, it isn't it isn't a disability at all, I would say. It isn't an inherent disadvantage, but because the world was built for right-handed people, even nowadays, where there would be more accidents with left-handed people because, well, stuff were built for right-handed people, you know, to use with. Even nowadays, there are still more accidents with, well, left-handed people, which is something to think about, right? This one is great, this one would fix, and I will still not pick you. Yeah, sue me. Anyway, like, left-handed people nowadays still face some very real difficulties. Very real difficulties regarding stuff that was designed to be used by people who are right-handed, you know? And that's like, that's a thing from the last century, you know? I don't know if that's the case everywhere else, but here in Brazil, people used to, like, there would be very many hardships for, oh god, that's a lot of balls, for people who are left-handed. Like, they would get beaten until they learn to write with the right hand, those kinds of things. That was very bad, you know. As I say, history. Oh, crystal potion, nice. Reforge potion. Do I take it? Let's first remove the spell prototype from there. Anything else we want to keep it there? Nah, not really. Let's take it to see if it can get anything better. We got one more floating wisp, which I do enjoy. You know, I think this one allows us for up to 5 floating wisps. So, oh, and I got a prototype plus, which is great, actually. I could use that to have a floating wisp tree and a floating wisp chill instead of whatever we have here. Sadly, I cannot further reroll. Yeah. So let's see. Double keys, nice. We got an invisibility potion, which we don't really care about. Let's drink it. Except for invisibility potion, we got a petrification potion, which we also don't care about. We could we could receive like Night Shield. And another Reforge potion, I do like that. Another Floating Wisp, which is something that we are very much interested in. Actually, 2 more Floating Wisps, I like that. I like this reflection, I want to keep it. And this one is certainly better than that one. So there's that. What is this? Lockpick potion. I'll be taking all of these potions just because they could have some better potions with them. You know, like a crystal potion within them. And a levitation potion within them. A holy water within them. Please remove the one. Yeah, that makes me walk. I don't like walking constantly. Sure, let's have a very small amount of shield. By virtue of having infinite potions. Anyway, now we got way stronger in this shop. We got way stronger than we were when we entered this shop, that I would say. And I think I do benefit from doing this a bit. Also, this one has 0 cooldown, so I might as well do that, right? That's a lot more balls than there used to be. When enemies start to get touched by balls... Oh, more floating wisp. They very quickly become overwhelmed by said balls. I think that's funny. Like how the balls just go in there, right? Very violently. Let's get more floating wisp. Do we have? We already have volley tray, so I'm not interested in that all that much. I am interested in this and this. So let's do this a little bit. I kind of like the overscatter thing, to be honest. Destroy the plants. I kind of like that because, well, first of all, a reforge potion is very nice. We are keeping those though. The game is lagging over there. Let me remove those guys. The balls are quite eagerly interacting with my enemies. So we have another reforge potion, which I believe we don't need this anymore, the grimoires. They serve me a lot, but more floating wisp, always welcome. More duration on those two. Because the longer the floating wisps lasts, the more ability to duplicate they have, right? What do we have here? Not all that good of potion repertoire, but at the same time they are more max MP, HP, and some other potions that we don't know about. And potions in this game are the strongest things there are in terms of economy. You know, they are the strongest players in the economy here. Anyway, I wanted that. It is funny. But I do think that removing my thing there was not that good of an idea. Like, reducing my MP region is what I'm trying to communicate. I'm failing because, well... Let's see. Please, I need a forge. Somewhat urgently. Do I need another, like... So, priority number 0 is always shops, right? Oh, I do have this. I forgot I took it. Priority number 0 is shops, because they are always potion shops. Priority number 1 would then be a forge right now. I would very much benefit from one. So what do we have here? More floating wisps. I think they are good. And sure, let's get more that. Shops. Shops are prioritized over whatever that is. So let's go to the potion shop first. This is some coins. I do like some coins. I do enjoy myself a few coins. So let's do that. I got a discount potion, which I will immediately take here. Because I will very much... Oh, the game is lagging over there. Not because of the interactions between my things and the other things, but because these balls don't seem to stop duplicating. Like, could a ball that has duplicated duplicate? Yes, it can. So we have exponential balls. That's what we got. Let's drink an unstable thing. Oh, this is a wealth potion. I should have drunk that before. I don't have to be 100% efficient here. Sure, let's take a purification potion. So when we purificate first, we can purificate several times in quick succession. That sounds smart. Oh, this is not bad at all. Like, this is just more balls. You know, in between those two, I rather prefer the relic. Right now, we have a very distinct issue, which is when there are enemies, our balls are consumed. You know, when there are multiple enemies around. And with our balls getting consumed, it sounds so wrong. When our balls are consumed, they cannot further generate more balls, you know? So there is an issue. I forgot to take the consumables. You know, that is very much an issue. Like, we cast a spell once, and then stuff becomes weird. And we can also do that, like, have way too many copies of the spell running around. Let's say, yeah, haha, you do enjoy more balls there. I should not have locked. Now that I think about it, that's fine. Oh, a potion. Let's drink it. When the spells finally go away, they stop lagging the game a lot. This guy is just one, so I'm not worried about him consuming all my balls. Worrying about my balls lagging the game, that is, I am very sure worried about. It will get worse, don't worry. It will get very worse as soon as we get to a forge. I wonder if we can crash the game. Also, we should do this. Excuse me, video game. Can you not kill me? That would be fantastic. Thank you. The game is running slow, which is a good sign that we are doing stuff, you know? We could make all of our balls go towards our mouths, but I don't know if that is a good idea or not. I think that this one is nice. You know, having a second arcane barrier in there. We have way too many balls. Would have thought, right? Regular enemies are killed very fast because as soon as they take 100 hits, not as soon as they take 100 hits, but on average, after 100 hits, they are dead. Because of this guy. I know, statistics is a little bit complicated, not all that simple. But, oh, a forge. The number of balls within me will increase a lot right now. First of all, this increases, right? Secondly, this increases. Yeah, we should put it there. We should put it there. I think it is worth it to do that. Even though it does reduce the number of stuff. You know, now let's craft these into better multi-shots. There we go. And now we have a lot of floating wisps. As you can probably tell. We can actually turn one of those floating wisps into a level 3 floating wisp. I was supposed to use that, I didn't. Yeah, that's bad. Anyway, now that we are past that point, now that we have way too many... Oh. 1 second. Anyway, let's keep go. Let's re-roll the ones into. First of all, Magic Vine is very nice for that. Gives me a lot more survivability. And I'm looking for another spell prototype if I can get it. Not another wand, another spell prot. Chill. I don't think I can get it, but Expansion Stone. The thing about Expansion Stone is that it makes me so much more durable. Yeah, it does reduce the overall thin there, but I think it's worth it. I think that's worth it. Do I have... Yeah, I do have 4 normals, so let's fuse them together. And an Overscatter Plus. Let's try to roll that into Floating Wisps. There we go, we have 5 for Floating Wisps. We are now a lot stronger. And we now need to purchase more spells. You know, and to acquire more spells, not necessarily purchase them. But I think you'll get the gist, right? We are a lot stronger right now. So, yeah, we are able to lag the game in amounts that we couldn't before. Which I think is neat. Oh, an Expansion Stone, that is some survivability. We can just do it there. Another Floating Wisp. We will take as many Floating Wisps as we can. Oh, a Wealth Potion. Let's duplicate that wealth, shouldn't we? Should have done that. We should have took that. Anyway, I am not very well optimized here. Oh, a refresh. I think a refresh there is worth it, right? Refresh these potions. Sadly, we cannot refresh the ones which we already bought. I should be very careful. Actually, let's try it. Let's drop these. And let's try... What did I do? Okay, I took the wrong potion. That's fine. Yeah, we cannot refresh the ones in the ground, but since we took that anyway, might as well took all of them. Yeah, that's something. Let's take the Unstable Red potion. Let's take the Unstable Blue potion. It didn't help me out that much. But on average, that's good. Even though that time it wasn't. Oh. We have full HP. That's interesting. Good moment to use those purification potions then. Now that I come to think of it, now would be a good time to have that. That's that thing that makes spells penetrate walls. I don't think that guy is lasting all that much. Neither is the other one. Oh, yes, him. What do we have here? Reservoir. It's not bad. No floating wisps, huh? I see. Let's take a reservoir. I think it is a little bit better than one slot for this. And I am getting better at this one, aren't I? Actually, I'm starting to learn how to do that, I suppose. Which is nice. It is some progression in the sense of... Like, sometimes I can look at them and think of steps in order to end them. Sometimes I cannot. It's fine, though. So what do we want here? More bread. Oh, yeah, let's get more crit chance, I suppose. Helps. Yeah. exponential ball action, I suppose. We got that. If we only got Arcane Nova. I don't know if Arcane Nova is all that useful, now that I think about it. I think it would lag my game more than it would contribute. You know? That is my current thought about the nature of... I could slot those in there and have, like, no consequence whatsoever, right? I do have way too many simcasts. Yeah. I will leave here before my game gets toast. We need to get close to the rabbits so that they take damage. Way too many balls. I probably... Now, if I would make this build again, right? I will probably take benefit from the fact that we have these many balls and do something with them, right? Instead of simply using them as damage dealers, I would probably slot something in them like... I don't know... I could put a Duet and throw something in there, like Arcane Blast or... I don't know. Something to make the balls do something when they hit. Because right now... Well, they do a lot of damage. You cannot tell me otherwise, because you would be lying. You know? Oh, this one is pretty good for our things, because it has more MP regen. I am very certain that the way that we fought the boss influences the things that we get here. Like, fighting the boss without taking damage perhaps makes that Scarlet Room appears. Because every time I overly destroy a boss, I get one. At least that's how I feel like it. You know, that might not be the case. That might be just confirmation bias on my end. But it feels like every time I utterly destroy a boss, I get a room. You know? Yeah, I am taking all potions that are offered to me. Because, first of all, they are more max HP. And I'm honestly quite... What did I do there? A quite reasonable amount. I don't like that I have to use all of these balls. Oh. This guy has a higher interval. But it increases the final damage. Perhaps that's worth it, because... Perhaps that is worth it, mostly because I don't want to lag them on my game. Even though my spell combination might seem like I do want that. Want more balls. Got more balls. Want more balls. I know that they have another name. They're not called balls, they're called floating wisps. But I rather call them balls because that's what they are. Prototype. Prototype is effectively more balls, right? There we go, pale wings. Let's use my balls, remove yours. And by balls I mean HP bars. Or whatever, HP points. Oh god. You know that stuff is a little bit insane when the pale wings desync from its body. You know? That tends to happen when the number of balls per square meter is a little bit excessive. Yeah, let's get a random relic. What did I get? A little bit of extra damage, not bad. So, Rafflesia. Rafflesia will take a little bit more time, I think. Let's spray it. Now that all of our MP is not being sprayed away in seconds. Perhaps I should think a little bit. Yeah, those guys can be killed by the mask, which is a pretty bummer for them. Pretty big bummer for them, I would say. Are those things destroyable? I don't know. It seems like Rafflesia weren't shooting them towards us. You know, yeah, sure, that's a lot of damage. Let's go for the third boss. Hello, Thunder Beast. Would you like some balls? I prepared them exclusively for you. And for what it... Wow. That's a lot of damage. While I do like the exponential nature of them, I do think that they themselves are not very good at using that exponential nature. You know? I would rather prefer if they would have something tied to them so that when they are destroyed elsewhere, because they eventually are, they generate something like, I don't know, perhaps a laser even, you know, that has, we can go in there and refine our balls, or we can go in there, which would be a little bit better. Chris, oh, potion, actually that's a chaos potion, isn't it? A chaos potion is nice. Let's take one. We do have a purification potion, so we don't need to worry about anything really. And perhaps we can get some holy water to remove that. Should have taken that before the others, but so let's reset a relic, right? This is like we won't need silver key anymore. You know, that's certainty. And we should take Purification Potion before the other if we are taking it, and we probably are taking it, right? I haven't even read what the curses were, but I don't care about them, I don't want them. That's the truth. What is wrong with... Oh, Illusion Potion. The Illusion Potion effect is always really weird for me, because I drink it so rarely. Oh, okay, more survivability. That is just what that thing does. Perhaps I can get even more survivability. Who knows, right? Oh, I am purchasing that ball, and what a that Omen of Doom. Omen of Doom with these balls would be funny. Oh god, now I have to do it, right? Now I certainly have to do it. Yeah, now that I think about it, let's remove that. I don't need as many balls I currently have. I need enough balls. I need to remove one ball, get in there. Actually, put that in there. It gives me a few more slots, so I have more slots than I previously had. For more balls. Certainly. And yeah. As long as I move, I am breaking the game. this is actually needed just because I have way too many balls, which use way too little MP. So now I have to be very careful with my movement, okay? Because every time I move, I create a disturbance in reality, I would say that. Yeah, every time I move, I disturb reality in a way that lags my game. That's what happens. So I have to be like, why did the mage die? What happened there? I don't know. I have no idea. I should probably have some kind of disabling mechanism, such as removing volley. That is a good enough disabling mechanism. You know, oh, my balls. Of course. We should take all the balls we are offered, right? Not taking the so let's equip volley again so that we can fight, but we should take it away as soon as we're not fighting. So I believe going for a forge last would be not a terrible idea. Like, could you imagine if they would create, like, I don't know, Sword of Judgment every time they ended, right? So let's remove volley from there. Removing volley does not make me create less balls. Actually, it does, but the mechanism in there, the reason why I'm creating less balls when I remove the volley is mostly because... What did I do? I rerolled one of the balls. Not good. So yeah, that is a lot of balls. Would want more balls. Let's remove volley temporarily. So we want to reroll normal stuff, preferably into more balls. There we go, another ball. So go in there. Because we got weaker. We are literally trying to acquire more balls through rerolling. We got a little bit weaker because, well, volley scales very well, scales actually exponentially for each spell that you have in your wand that will be casted at the same time. You know, there is a limit on that, but you know, we can get one more ball. There we go. Because that way we can have a ball plus without wasting one ball. Very weird. So, I don't know if this is the maximum amount of balls one can have. Not really sure. However, I believe it is kind of close. Let's take a look at the DPS real quick. Honestly, not bad. Not bad at all. Considering there is a lot of targets and the balls are multiplying as well as they could. You know, in that case where there is just one target there, very strong indeed. So let's go to the final boss to destroy him with this thing that we got. You know, throwing volley in there was certainly an overkill, because balls are already exponential in their nature, you know. And every time we slap one of these there, we basically quadruple the amount of balls for no cost, because we give them the opportunity for doubling twice. You know? And that nature, something that could be exploited otherwise. The balls themselves don't deal a lot of damage. If I could use something like... If I could use something else in order to... Probably via Duet. Right, that would be fantastic. Yeah, that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Yeah, click the YouTube stuff down below if you did. And I hope to see you guys next time.